back, Minding Our Business, Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. Next, from Coach's Kids, Darlene Wheeler, and Darlene brought along Paulette too.
Yes, Paulette Martin, and she's part of Coach's Kids.
Coach's Kids, what is that?
Coach's Kids is a nonprofit organization that we started a year ago, and it has helped the Antelope Valley tremendously. My son, Antoine Hill, is a coach at AV High School for the past 7 years. And a lot of the students are on campus for 10 to 12 hours a day. And the cafeteria closes at 12:30 noon. So we're finding that the kids are passing out in practice, throwing up, because lack of food. They just don't have the money to sustain them that long. So what the Coach's Kids have came up with is snacks for these athletes, whether it's soccer, football, baseball, to help bridge that hungriness for the students.
So there's no money at home, there's no food at home, so it's not like they can pack a lunch.
Exactly.
A lot of the students qualify for the free lunch at school, and the cafeteria closes at 12, around 12:30. So if they have an activity after school, like cheerleading, basketball, soccer, and football, of course, and whatever other school-sanctioned activity, then they don't have resource to provide themselves with extra food, because they're not able to take food out of the cafeteria after the cafeteria closes, and they don't have transportation to go somewhere to buy something. So a lot of the kids, like you had mentioned earlier, that they're getting sick because of lack of nutrition. Some of them are dehydrated. So we want to be able to help more students. We partner with the Antelope Valley High School, but we would like to be able to help more students that's in the same kind of situation with some type of snack, whether it's a trail mix, whether it's a granola bar, Gatorade, water, and juice or fruit or something to help them sustain their day so that they won't be getting sick. We'd like to be able to do more, maybe give them enough of something that they may be able to take home, because sometimes they don't even have food at home.
Yeah, so they're kind of running on empty.
Exactly.
They are.
Exactly.
In
They're
fact,
hungry.
We've gotten a call from Palmdale High School because they found out about our donation drive September 21st from 11 to 2 in Quartz Hill at 4644 West Avenue M14. And they said, one of the coaches says, "Hey, Darlene, can you help us over at Palmdale High School?" So it's a real need. And out of 100 kids at AV High School, 86 qualify for low-income lunches. So it's a lot of homeless kids, a lot of low income, a lot of foster youth that are just, these are the kids that are left behind.
So my first understanding was these were kids involved in sports, but these are just all the students.
These are all the students, but we are targeting the kids that are on campus for 12 hours. So, some of the students can go home, but, like I said, the football team, they're there for 12 hours, lifting weights, running, or whatever, and they have no substance, no food to sustain them.
Sports are so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're involved in sports for a number of reasons, all good,
Yes,
and then they're penalized because they don't have money.
right,
They can't pack a big lunch or an extra lunch or a third lunch,
absolutely.
and the cafeteria is closed.
Yes, and I would love to see the district get together and implement a budget for a after-school program for these children. And I know case by case, that maybe they can look at the schools, which schools are in need. But, if they could put a budget together, it would be so helpful for these young students.
Well, this is a problem that sort of popped up,
Yes,
and you took it on.
yes.
However, you mentioned you're taking money out of your own pocket. You've been doing this for a year.
I've been doing this for a year, and like I said, my son Antoine Hill has been coaching at AV High School for 7 years, and he brought it to our attention, and he says, "Mom, we need help." And I was doing it just by myself at first, and then, of course, we all got together and partnered, and now we're helping, and this is our second year, and we're so excited about it.
Right. Joy to Nurture is the overhead nonprofit that we put together, and we specifically put Coach's Kids as our #1 program.
Yes.
And we would like to expand, but right now we're focusing on Coach's Kids, and it's a part of our nonprofit organization. So donations are tax deductible, and we would love people to help us.
A lot of
partner
times,
with.
I mean, like me included, it's like, okay, one-time donation, but the challenge is this problem
Going
goes
on.
on.
Ongoing. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mr. Stanford, the VP at AB High School, he's excited, he's supporting us. He says we've needed this years ago, and he's going out himself, and he will be at the donation drive and on September 21st to help donate food, because he knows the need at AB High School and other schools. Yes.
You know, if I was like working out, if I can remember a long time ago, and one little fiber bar, that wouldn't be enough.
Can you, and that's what we,
Maybe an apple and
yes,
some more, and
right, yeah. And
then you
that's-
have to go home.
And then you have to go home, and like my son said, he says, Mom, the food that we were donating, they were asking the coach, hey, Coach, can we take some food home so we can have something for dinner? So it's just such a need, and I don't want to do slogans, no kid left behind, or it takes a village. It takes a willing heart. That's what it takes
Absolutely.
to help these children, and that's why we are having this donation drive, and we're asking the whole Antelope Valley to come out, and we need to feed these hungry athletes, 12 hours a day. Can you imagine on campus with just maybe a pizza and a carton of milk and an apple?
They need 3,000 calories,
At least,
Yeah.
at least.
not 700.
At least, yes.
Yeah, so you look down the street from somebody who knows me,
I do.
and she heard about this wonderful thing you're doing, so
Yes.
she got us together.
Yes, and she's going to be there September 21st, and her husband and Kathy, and I just love her to death, and she hooked me up with you, Chris, and she says, Chris would love to hear, for you to come down and talk to him.
How do people get in touch with you, Darlene?
You can get in contact with me through our email, and that would be the best way. And I don't have on my glasses.
It's all one words, helpcoacheskids@gmail.com. And if you don't know how to spell coaches, then shame on you. But there is no apostrophe in there, it's not possessive. Help coaches, COACHES, kids@gmail.com.
Yes.
Or just, I think you could call the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce and we'd hook you up.
Absolutely, and please, whoever is out there and that are available Saturday, the 21st, from 11 to 2, come to 4644 West Avenue M14 in Quartz Hill, and we're going to have the biggest donation drive for these kids that the Antelope Valley has ever seen. We're asking for crackers, oranges, Gatorade, water, whatever you can, whatever non-perishable items that you can
Prepackaged.
yeah, that you can support us with. We're going to get the items to the coaches. We're going to try to help Palmdale High School this year. I'd love to help Little Rock as well, East Side. This is an ongoing thing because most of the students play multiple sports. So when they're done with football, they're playing basketball. Or when they're done with basketball, they're playing soccer.
Or
So
they're
this-
cheerleading, or they're in band.
Yes.
They're doing their part.
They are.
They're involved.
Well, this is this is their escape. This is their happiness. And no kid should be worry about what they're going to have to eat or if they're going to have enough to eat. They have enough on their plates.
Actually, no pun intended, they don't have anything on their plates.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Chris.
And did you mention that sometimes you make sandwiches too?
Yeah, well, what we've been doing is we've been donating bread and jelly and peanut butter and things like that and just giving it to the coaches, and the kids make their own sandwiches. But, 12 loaves of bread I thought was a lot, and Chris, it went out, it was gone in one day, so.
And I'm sure you're shopping over there at the day-old bread place.
Well, we haven't. We've been going to Costco's and Sam's Club and things like that, but we may have to start, yes.
Well, whatever you're doing is perfect, and, I'm sure the community really, really appreciates it.
Yes, it takes a willing heart, it definitely does, and we are definitely on the fence for this. This is important. I was one of those kids that didn't have enough to eat, so this is very passionate to me. My mother did did all she could, and she was a single parent, and I was very thin growing up. And it's just important. A kid needs to eat. Yes,
Oh, a kid needs to worry about something else besides food.
you got
Absolutely.
that right.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
And you are passionate because if you have a son that's working, then that means you're probably retired or in a
Yes.
retired area.
Yes.
And this is important and it's your community.
It's my community.
Not even your kids.
Yeah, not, my kids are grown, yes, but I love my community, and I want these kids to have a fighting chance.
So folks can come over, this is probably your house,
Yes.
4644 West M14. And you just find M14 and 45th West and look for a crowd down there. And
Yes, we'll be in the front yard, and we're gonna have balloons and banners and
Making
T-shirts
noise.
and making noise, and we want donations, and we're gonna get them to the coaches, and it'll be great.
Crackers, granola bars, chips, fruit, healthy looking stuff, apples, oranges, bananas, those you have to move pretty fast.
And well, believe
You
me,
know
they're
that,
fast.
you're a mom, that's right.
And those kids, they move them fast too.
Not a problem, take the wrapper off on those.
Exactly.
Water, Gatorade, Powerade,
Yes, yes,
wow, that's all they need.
that's it.
Probably a little cash wouldn't hurt either.
It wouldn't, because it would help with cleats and things like that for these
Mhm.
kids, they're trying.
They're trying, and God bless the coaches.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
You know,
Yes.
they're trying to teach something, they're also probably aiming at a championship.
Yes, I hope so, yeah.
So Coaches Kids donation drive, and it's on September 21st, which is a Saturday,
Correct.
okay, from 11 a.m. to 2. I bet if you showed up at 2:01, they'd take your donation.
I bet you we would too.
Darlene Wheeler and Paulette, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you
you
so
very
much for
much.
having us, Chris, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.